Metropolis has never looked this polarizing. James Gunn's Superman blasted into cinemas on 11 July 2025, with pre-sale math pointing to a $125–130 million domestic debut, the biggest for any DC film since the Batman reboot 3 years ago. Within 6 hours, though, high-definition rips flooded torrent sites. Superman 2025 download leaped into Google's trending search top 10, threatening to siphon off as much as 10% of opening weekend revenue. Critics by then had split into two loud camps. Rotten Tomatoes' early fan score hovered above 95%, yet professional reviews drifted between euphoric, a vibrant, heartfelt triumph, and savage, a painfully generic mess. In the next few minutes, we'll sprint through 8 laser-cut chapters: box office stakes, casting highs, Gunn humor lows, Lex Luthor's muddled menace, and the CGI superdog that hijacked half the memes, before landing on the one question DC can't dodge. Is this reboot a heroic new dawn or kryptonite in disguise? Deadline's tracking models peg Superman at $130 million US and roughly $280 million global by Sunday. Numbers Warner Discovery needs to keep the ledger green on a production plus marketing spend, flirting with $350 million. But analysts already warn of a piracy drag. Torrent traffic normally clips revenue by 5%. Yet day one leaks on premium superhero titles can spike losses into double digits. Add in the franchise's heavy international weighting, Latin America over-indexes for DC, and every illegal stream in Sao Paulo or Manila pinches the margins harder than a lost Los Angeles ticket. Gunn's roll of the dice feels extra risky when you recall that 2023's Flashpoint cratered at $55 million US. Start strong or start sweating. That's the box office reality. But numbers alone don't fuel fandom wars. Opinions do. Rotten Tomatoes opened the gates with a glowing 96% verified viewer score, yet the critic average wobbled around 85%, dropping into the mid-70s after the first 120 reviews. The Hollywood Reporter called the film a joyous reclaiming of hope, while Forbes retorted that it's Guardians light minus the novelty. Reddit's rdc_cinematic megathread devolved into all-caps showdowns, Snyder loyalists citing tonal neutering, Gunn fans hailing Silver Age brightness. The polarity mirrors Marvel's post-Endgame fatigue. Audiences crave freshness, yet drag every new tone into comparison wars. Gunn knowingly straps on that target, or cape, and flies straight into the discourse. At the eye of this storm stands a brand new Clark Kent. Replacing a fan-base icon is an Olympic high jump. David Corenswet's Kansas twang and broad-shouldered empathy land cleanly for most viewers. Early screening polls credit his farm kid sincerity as the movie's emotional engine. Yet the script's eagerness to make him just like us raises eyebrows. Viral, out-of-context promo clips show Superman yelling at Lex Luthor, flipping a desk when Krypto is kidnapped, and fretting about social media backlash beats some fans call too human. Gunn's defenders argue context matters. Those rants come after Supes discovers a proxy war brewing between not Israel and not Palestine, and he's furious at diplomatic red tape. Still, the Kill Bill Volume 2 thesis hangs overhead. Superman is interesting because Clark Kent is the disguise. When the disguise barely exists, myth can erode into memes. Meanwhile, the Daily Planet has a new star reporter worth discussing. Casting Rachel Brosnahan looked like a slam dunk the day it leaked, and on screen she nails the blend of tenacity and charm. The screenplay doubles down on her ethics. Lois refuses to run a military press release, sneaks into a drone strike briefing, and tells Perry White, "I won't publish placeholders." Viewers cheer the integrity, while real-world reporters grumble on Twitter that such autonomy inside a corporate newsroom is pure Kryptonian fantasy. The meta joke works, but it highlights Gunn's tonal juggling. A romantic subplot, a commentary on clickbait journalism, and a kaiju fight often coexist in the very same act. Brosnahan elevates every scene she's in. We just wish the newsroom hadn't vanished for the entire third act when the sky turns purple. Speaking of purple skies, let's meet the man trying to blot them out. Nicholas Holt's shaved head swagger screams boardroom shark, and when he's delivering cold one-liners, hope is a dividend that never matures, he's magnetic. But the script can't decide whether Luthor is a tech bro populist, a war profiteer, or a cosmic entity cultist. He literally tells audiences his mission in a 3-minute monologue, then undercuts it with a quip about Metropolis real estate taxes. Critics label it motivation whiplash, Worse, Superman spends more runtime punching giant biomechs than intellectually fencing with his arch-nemesis. If Holt survives into sequels, fans beg Gunn to sharpen that ideological blade, because brilliance wasted is the real supercrime. And for every shaky villain speech, there's a joke waiting to pounce. James Gunn's signature is tonal contrast. Tragedy, heart, fart joke, repeat. In Guardians 1, that cocktail felt groundbreaking. In Superman, it divides audiences. Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion, is tailor-made for sarcasm, and his Green Lantern barbs land effortlessly. Hawkgirl's deadpan rebuttals also sing, but elsewhere, tension dissolves like kryptonite in acid. Mid-rescue, Superman reassures civilians, only for Mr. Terrific to blurt a Tinder gag. Lois chokes back tears as a refugee crisis unfolds, and the camera smash cuts to Krypto licking a burrito off an unconscious henchman. The funniest lines kill pathos rather than releasing it. Comedy and gravitas can coexist. Here they occasionally duel. At least the visuals match the comic book kaleidoscope, mostly. When Gunn frames Superman above a shimmering cornfield at dawn, the imagery could hang in the Smithsonian. Clean compositing, vibrant color grading, genuine awe. Those are the moments fans screenshot for wallpaper. Yet large-scale battles tell another story. Jittery panoramic sweeps introduce rubbery physics, especially when the camera pins behind digital doubles doing Mach 12 barrel rolls. One corridor fight stages Lex 3 feet from exploding drones. Debris zips past his ear. He doesn't blink. Critics call it limbic denial. In the theater, the uncanny glassiness yanks you out of immersion. Gunn's eye for splash page majesty is real. The VFX pipeline just needs more render passes, and perhaps less ambition crammed into 1/3 act. Odd then that the breakout star is 100% pixels. Twitter crowned Krypto the Superdog, MCU, Groot for DC within hours. Funko pre-orders crashed WB's store page. Scene stealer status aside, Krypto exists to introduce the Justice Gang, Gunn's Silver Age answer to Marvel's Guardians. Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl tease infinite spin-off potential, plus the post-credit tag featuring a hollow signature that spells BRAINIAC in Kryptonese. Merchandisers are thrilled. Lore purists wonder if Superman's solo spotlight just got crowded. Either way, DC's next slate now has an anchor. Audiences will show up to see whether Gunn doubles down or passes the stadium to another director. Here's the ledger. A charismatic new Clark and Lois, a meme-ready Krypto, and flashes of genuine comic panel awe sit on one side. On the other, leaky torrents, tonal speed bumps, wobbly villain focus, and visual inconsistency weigh heavily. If weekend multipliers hold above 2.5, Superman vaults toward $800 million and cements a fresh hope narrative. Slip below 2.2, and execs will whisper soft reboot before the cape even dries. Now it's your panel in this sprawling graphic novel. Team Triumph or Team Meh? Drop your verdict in the comments, plus your biggest laugh, biggest cringe, and whether Brainiac should be Gunn-directed or handed to, say, Denis Villeneuve. Smash that like, slam subscribe, and ring the bell. Monday morning, we'll dissect box office drop-off percentages and explore how those piracy numbers shook out. Because the truth is simple. Krypton exploded once. Hollywood can't afford to let it explode again.